This is Robert Miles, Runyan and Associates. Bob, what school did you attend?
Well, first I went to Art Center. I put 4 years at Art Center, and then I went to Chenard for a couple of years.
That was my school.
Is that right?
Yep.
Well, not many people know that. It's kind of interesting. When Saul was teaching, and I can't even remember the school that he's teaching at, I went to night school and I studied with Saul for about
Did you really?
6 months at one time, yeah, after Chenard. Yeah.
How did you get started in the profession?
Well, actually, in those days, I had prepared my portfolio to go to New York. That's what everybody goes to the Mecca. And then Jerry Gould, who was one of my instructors, got me a job here on the West Coast for Desmond Stores at that time. And so that was a big deal. I was an art director at Desmond Stores at $325 a month. And so I ended up staying on the West Coast for most of my career, except, as you know, later I opened an office in New York. I had an office there for about 14 years.
Now, when you...
And my agent over there, the Hamano Institute, they put me in touch with this gentleman, and he produced this book. As you know, we designed the Stars in Motion for the Olympics, so they picked that off as the theme. And I'm always dressed in Western stuff, mainly. And he decided he wanted to produce this book, and I told him, boy, this is a really losing proposition, because you're not going to find enough people in the world. It's too highly specialized. But he really, yeah, well, hey, he's got to have a couple of $100,000 in this thing. It's all, here, I'll turn a few pages here and see what we've got.
You can just hold it slightly more vertical.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to see.
Okay, well, there's when I was doing the Formula One thing. I love racing, and I had to go to Madrid, and I had to go to Barcelona, I had to go to Monaco, I had to go all over the world, and got paid for it. Wow, what a client that was. Anyway, this is the wildest project I ever produced. This was, we produced this out of the New York office. I put a design office right on board this boat. I had about 8 people on it at the time producing this. But, well, here's the book.
The Lytton.
Yeah, now this is the one that really started it all.
Right.
Graphis, in effect, gave me credit for the beginning of the concept annual report. And Crosby Kelly, a dear friend of mine, who wrote the book on financial PR at Lytton Industries, and myself produced these things. So this was the kickoff book that really started the whole movement.
I remember that.
And there's another one which we got a double gold medal from the New York show for that particular job. That's Richton, which was a fashion conglomerate.